Hello and welcome to the show. Welcome to a very special video, as this is the first time I've done a video in VR. Yes, we're going to be taking a look at Project Cars 2, and I'm hoping that everything is going to be recording okay. It is not the easiest of things. In fact, I'm going to have to take the goggles off for a quick check. Everything's still working. Yep, we are looking at the ceiling of the car. Don't mind me. Yeah, I've got a HTC Vive now, and I've actually been really enjoying playing some Project Cars 2 in VR. Don't mind if the sort of UI bits are a little... I've turned as much of the UI off as I can, because where it works for VR, it doesn't really work for when filming. So I think the lap time bit should be okay. I've got to be really careful because I've got a microphone in front of my face, of course, that I can't see. So here we are in the Porsche 961 because I think the car is incredible. And we can have... I've smacked the microphone immediately. We can have a look around. Also, if I turn too far away, you're not going to be able to hear me talk and so on. I'll face it to them. I've not done a very good job of the whole positioning. I'm not used to really filming like this. But I mean, it's really bloody cool. It is really, really cool. I was a little bit skeptical of VR, I'm going to be honest. I played... My brief experiences of playing it were at Goodwood. I had to go on a setup. I think it was playing Project Cars 1, but it was not quite it wasn't working properly, basically. The depth perception in it was really wonky, and I didn't really realise it until after I had sort of had a go on it, and so quite how wonky that one had been. Oh, that's a little bit bumpy down there. Yeah, didn't quite realise that it was more down to the setup having been, like the headset having been set up wrong, is why it felt quite weird driving, rather than anything else. I mean, I suspect the VR in Project Cars 2 is better than the first one, but it's very, very cool. Now, of course, you guys at home watching this will, of course, not quite be appreciating the... Ooh, where am I going there? The same thing as I am recording. Of course, the advantage I have in terms of a filming perspective, shall we say, is things like Euro Truck Simulator, where you're driving with a wheel, you can't really take your hand off the wheel and do the gears and so on easily, and still use a mouse to look around. Well, with this, I can. With this, of course, you can just, well, look around. In racing terms as well, it's helpful. I can look to the side, I can look in the mirrors, I can look... if I look in the mirrors, I've got to try and actually drive in a straight line. Yeah, I can look in the mirrors over that side. Ooh, I've not quite got the grip through here. I've been driving a very different car for the last little while, which we'll go on to in a minute. We will go do some racing. Yeah, like being able to look around your own vehicle does make life easier for racing. There are a couple of downsides to it. First of all, I have got the normal Vive, not the Vive Pro. I might at some point looking at getting the Pro. The resolution on the goggles I have here is good, but it isn't great. It's still a little bit... So occasional braking zones will be a little bit hard to distinguish, like coming up here. I can't really see where that board is very well until the very last second. It's not perfect. So I'm not sure if I'm probably going to... Until I get used to a car at a circuit, I'm probably going to be a little faster driving normally than I would be in VR, just because your reference points are a little bit more difficult to spot. Motion sickness-wise was something that I was worried about, and I'm pleased to report I've not had too many trouble. Now, I'm playing this mostly with racing games, of course. My office with the SimRig setup doesn't really have space for much the room scale stuff, so most of the stuff I'm doing is just sat down stuff. And in terms of racing games, well, I got the steering wheel, and I think the steering wheel, like juddering and jumping around, force feedback, kind of mitigates the motion sickness in a way. Like, it tricks your brain a little bit, I find anyway. I'm not the best, like when it comes to motion sickness, I'm a little bit prone to it in cars sometimes, like if I'm on my phone or like as a passenger, we're talking here, of course. But yeah, with racing games, I haven't had any issues. With Subnautica, a little bit, after extended bits of play on that. Subnautica, I did get a little bit iffy, but yeah, so far racing-wise, has been pretty solid. The only other downside is the goggles are quite... It gets quite warm shall we say. I mean, admittedly, in a helmet you get quite warm after a while, but yeah, with these on, it does get a little warm. I wouldn't want to be doing a 2-hour stream, for example, wearing these. It gets hot enough sat in the sim rig as it is, and this is not a particularly warm day either. You're probably not going to want to spend extended periods of time in these, but on the whole, it has, been more impressive than I thought it was going to be. This is a quick little drive around Knock Hill in a very, very cool Porsche. It's still, like, I've played around a little bit with this now. It's still quite cool. Say quite, it's very cool. Just, you know, able to look around. I've headbutted the mic again. Yeah, it's really rather impressive. That was a little quick drive around the fantastic Knock Hill circuit. Now, it's time to do some actual racing. So, now it is time to show it all off in action. We're going to go racing at the Oschersleben circuit. I figured if I'm going to, you know, try this, I might as well go to a circuit I know pretty well. I do like Oschersleben, driven around it a fair bit, so yeah, do know what I'm doing around this particular track. The car is new. This is the Ferrari 355 Challenge, comes with the latest kind of Ferrari DLC. I love the 355. It is perhaps one of my more favourite Ferraris. Isn't up there at the very, very top, but I do like the 355. The Challenge race car is excellent fun indeed. And we've got 28 of them going racing around this circuit. Going for a 6-lap race. I will be starting at the back. We're not going to be winning this. This is more just for a little bit of fun. A little bit of a showcase as to what the racing is all about. I might be able to be sneaky and get a couple of positions off the start line, as you sometimes can. At Oschersleben. There's a car somewhere in a blind spot. Don't know where it's gone. There it is. Just about figure it out. It's nice being able to look around to try and find the blind spots. Less easy when you've got the microphone in front of your face, but I will at some point, I say at some point, if we're going to do more recording in VR, I might get a proper little microphone that doesn't require the big old boom setup that I would normally use. Oh, I'm going to give you a little bit of a nudge. Can we sneak underneath? I think we might just about be able to. Oh, there's a lot of cars moving around. It's a little scary going on here. We're going to go around the outside of everyone, which is unusual. This is the one corner on this circuit that the AI tend to be very good at. Christ, I think we might have been 2 and 3 wide in a place where we probably didn't want to be 2 or 3 wide. There's not a car on the inside, to be fair. The AI do tend to be fairly slow through this section, especially when this part of the race when everyone's all stacked up. Yeah, so the start of the race is actually really stacked up. They're not normally this together, shall we say. Oh, that's not going to work through there. It will calm itself down. We will spread out a little bit more. I am, difficulty-wise, playing on a slightly lower difficulty setting than I would normally, because I really wasn't sure how kind of driving like this was going to affect my pace. It's actually not too bad. I could probably up it a little bit more, but for the sake of this showcase race, we're going to leave it. There's 105 around here. Normally I'd be... Well, it actually very much depends on the car and the track, because the AIs are vastly different in different circumstances. But, yeah, here, not too bad. Not too bad at all for me. We're going to get a good run on this car. Are we going to be able to... It's going to be battle of the late breakers. And that's really cool being able to do that. It is really cool being able to do that. I've got a little bit of a lock-up going on down here. We'll jump across the curb. I think it's still alongside. I saw a wing in the side mirror. Oh, he's going to hold me out wide. No one else is coming through there. In terms of like usefulness, being able to... It'll take me a little while getting used to the whole sort of looking, and I do the terrible thing of steering where you're looking, and that's not a clever idea. I'll try and remember not to go and do that. But yeah, I'll take a little bit to get used to. Once I have those, to be able to have that quick glance where you just couldn't previous will be quite helpful for seeing where other cars are. We're going to have a big dive on the exit, maybe. No, this is annoying because this is where I should be quick and I cannot be. Where are we going to find a good run on the exit here? Perhaps. We've got a decent drive. It'd be a big dive. We might be able to make it work. it's gonna be a little sketchy down here. Oh, we are gonna skate through in the end. I don't think he wanted to fight that one as much as I wanted the position. So I will take that. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Don't know what position we're in, of course. Having all of the HUD turned off, you kind of rely on... I mean, I guess it's more realistic, but you very much rely on the engineer telling you stuff, and if he doesn't feel like telling you anything, you don't really know. Speaking of engineers, just telling me to overtake. Thanks for that. Real helpful advice right there. Ooh, little lock up down there again. We're going to bounce the car. I don't actually want to be on the outside. I'd much rather cut underneath. We will get one. We will try and get Bumblebee. Bumblebee very nearly crashed into us. Bumblebee's going to crash into us again. That was close. It's not a car, thankfully. Not a car over there. Bumblebee very much did not want to be on that wider line. Ooh, well, that's first terrifying near miss. I mean, if there is a big crash at any point around here, if I roll the car, it'd be considerably more scary playing in VR than normal. I haven't rolled a car yet in VR. Probably not going to roll, not this car around this circuit. I would not have thought. There are some big curbs. They're not that big though. We'll get up onto its side, sure, like through here, maybe. Oh, that was a bit of a terrible cut by me. That sausage curb on the inside there, that's the sort of curve you hit, you'll get on this side. Unlikely to see the car go tumbling over though. We'll have to do that at some point. Assetto Corsa might be a better one for rolling off of curbs, but either way, what are we going to do about Bumblebee up here? I'm struggling to find more places. This is one of the difficulties with Oschersleben. I can be very, very fast, but actually finding places to overtake outside of kind of turn 1, turn 2 is not always all that easy. We're going to have a really, really good run. I don't really like the big dive down to turn 1. Not a big fan of it. We're not really clear either, because I like getting to the inside for the second part, not so much the inside here. If we can stop it there, we do look like we are clear, and then, oh, no, okay, there's a big old blind spot in the Ferrari. Like, the problem is now, I want to set up the wing mirrors differently. It's because now, I kind of rely on it, and then if you rely on it and it doesn't work out, then you're in trouble. Christ, my laptops are being crappy at the moment. You can go, because I can't take turn 1 and 2 how I want, because every time I'm fighting with someone. Now we're way further back than I would like to be, coming into further back from the cars ahead, so we spend this whole corner catching up, and then we'll probably not be able to do anything through here. We might actually be able to this time around. I got a very, very good run. Bumblebee wanted to close us down again. Not quite this time. I'm going to be braver. We'll force the point a little bit more. And there we go. We are through. We are finally clear of that yellow car. But I'm running out of laps to get much more in the way of progress done here. Can we have a look into the second to last corner? If I get a good run here, we are absolutely where I want to be. This is spot on for an overtake here. We will not push them on the grass. They will hang it around the outside. Won't be able to make that one work. I will take that position nice and cleanly. Okay, 2 cars that lap. Progress. Good progress has been made. Now let's not go for the inside again, because I'm bored of that. Well, no, let's not do it. Let's go for a nice early break. Don't have a car sneak up the inside of us. Oh, there we go. Now I'm where I want to be. We'll get 1. We might even be able to get a 2nd. No, he's going to close down, but that's okay. We're well clear of the white and green car. Well, this lap and 1 more to go. Oh. It's been an eventful, exciting race, which is what you want, ultimately, which is what you want. We lost time being stuck in traffic. We lost some time being stuck in traffic there. Probably should have been, would have been better off not going for the dive up the inside at turn 1 and focused on the turn 2 part of that area. We might be able to do a sneaky manoeuvre here. Oh, are you going to want to go side by side towards here? I don't think so. We will be clear of that. He is falling back into line. We are all good. That's another car now. Exit Exit of the chicane. That's where we're looking at for another pass. Line them up through here. Get a good run to the penultimate corner. Same thing as last lap. I'm okay with that if we can. But we're finding new places to get overtakes done. Well, I'll say new overtakes. We're getting more efficient. Oh, he's still there. And I think we will get still just about hanging on. Can't quite do it. That's another position for us. Better lap. Better lap. I can run in the 38 without too much trouble around here. Where we're not overtaking constantly. Oh, we had a bit of a lock up there. Everyone's sort of checking up because they're all starting to get crowded here. They're not quite brave enough to go for an overtake, but they are not. Where is he going to be? Somewhere, there he goes. There is an alarming blind spot on the Ferrari, we are learning here. I say an alarming blind spot. You don't think about that normally when playing project cars or when playing racing games. It makes you think of more things. But there we go. Oh, I don't really want to go on the brakes. It's quite easy to unsettle the car through that corner if you even just sort of tap the brakes. Much better off just sort of lift off and coast through there. I'm too far back to do anything here. Kind of bit of a well, it was just a slower first, second corner. We are quick through here, but I'm gonna have nowhere to go with it. I don't think. Yeah, just staring at the back of the 355 ahead of us. We're gonna have to have a dive down here. We might be able to get a couple of places if I can get this one right. Oh, there we go. We are through. Now, if we can get mega quick off of here, the black and green car might be in trouble. Come on, we can get another one. We can get another car before the end of the race. Oh, fighting with the wheel. One more corner to go. Well, he did move across and bump doors with me. I think he's ended up backing out of that one in the end. No idea what position we're in. Race engineer didn't feel fit to tell us that. Oh, 39.3 with about 3 overtakes that lap. It's not too bad going. Where do we end up in all of that? Oh, we got 12. Not too bad. Not too bad. And there we go. That was a look at some Project Cars 2 in VR. It's bloody cool. It's bloody cool. As I said, it's way more impressive than I expected it to be. And yeah, I don't know what much more I could say. It's very good fun. It isn't cheap, this sort of setup. It is not cheap at all. Well, I got a second-hand vibe in the end that cost 400 quid. It was the CEX, do different grades of them. I went for the best grade one they had, which was 400 quid. It came in its original box with half the stuff in the original packet, so it's hardly used. Which, you know, 100 quid saving, not too bad. 400 quid is still quite a lot of money, and this is before you go for the Pro, which I might well like because the resolution is a little bit on the funky. Well, I say the funky, it's just not quite as good. Yeah, it isn't cheap, but it is very, very cool. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would for racing stuff. It perhaps might not be my go-to thing for racing, certainly not for long sessions, as it is a little bit warm. It does get, oops, that's not what I want to do. Just get a little bit uncomfortable. But for a couple of hours, it probably wouldn't be too pleasant. However, it is really, really bloody cool. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.